Marley was dead, to begin with.
How festively macabre.
It just grabs your attention by the ponytail, doesn't it?
You just can't start a Christmas carol without it.
You know, I'm just wondering, are we sure this is the best idea? A lot of people get bent out of shape when you mess with the classics.
There are plenty of versions for those people. You can't throw a cat this time of year without hitting a traditional production of A Christmas Carol.
Why would you throw a cat?
I wouldn't. It's an idiom.
Is it?
Metaphorical feline flinging aside, Agnes is right.
Fine. Disclaimer. If you're here for a traditional telling of A Christmas Carol, please make your way to the exit now and have a lovely night. This is an adaptation of the holiday classic Charles Dickens movie starring Michael Caine.
You mean Alistair Sim?
Patrick Stewart.
You know, there are more efficient ways to make our point. We could just pop in, turn him into something cold and slimy, and pop right out again. Back home in time for solstice caroling.
Cold and slimy is plan B.
Personally, I think it's nice to get out and interact with others this time of year. The whole pop in and pop out thing can be kind of a grind.
Well then, whenever you're ready.
One time and space traveling vortex, please, Mildred. Why is it so dark?
It's London in December.
I can't find the lights.
Are you looking for a light switch in 1843?
Wait, are we sure this is the right room?
Does anyone remember who I asked to check before we all came in?
Ow!
Hey, watch it!
You're stepping on my cake!
What? Who's there?
There we are. Light at last.
Quick! Places!
What? Who?
Hey all, so sorry I'm late.
You called HECATE?
Our boss?
We needed a ghost.
Hey there, Suds, Agnes, Mildred, and please, it's just Kate now. I dropped the he.
Kate is here to be our version of Marley.
Marley? As in Jacob Marley?
This is gonna be so much fun. I haven't been on a good old-fashioned haunting in ages. Is this the guy?
What? Who?
Aw, just look how authentic he is in his little nighty gown and little sleepy dangly hat.
I beg your pardon?
We should probably get started. We've got a lot to do tonight.
Yes, of course. EBENEZER Scrooge.
I see now. She even comes with her own special effects.
Who are you? What do you want?
Much.
What business do you have with me?
The business of womankind.
I do not understand.
Scrooge, we have come to you on this Christmas Eve to teach you compassion and empathy for your fellow female humans. Without our help, you cannot hope to escape your fate.
And what fate is that?
The one where you continue to be really, really, really uncool.
What? How dare you? I will not be told what to do by a bunch of women. This is most improper.
Oh, I'm not just any improper woman. I am she that is known as HECATE, goddess of magic, ruler of the night, immortal guardian of the crossroads, and friends to the spirits.
Oh, most dreadful apparition. Why do you trouble me?
Dreadful?
You do look pretty menacing right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of eerie glow.
Too much, do you think?
No, not at all. You look great.
Humbug! This must be a dream.
I think it's going to take a little more convincing than we expected.
Oh, yes, I have an idea.
Spirit, what?
Ha! He's a she.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
Heavens! What has happened to me? My voice, my hands, my brow.
The Ebenezer Scrooge you were no longer exists. You are now EBBIE Scrooge, born the same moment from the same parents of the same rank and class. Only now, you're a woman.
But how?
Listen, this is only the first of many wonders to be experienced this night. You'll be haunted by 3 spirits.
Hi.
Without these visits, you cannot hope to shun the path of your stupidity. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once?
When the bell...
Actually, Kate, we are all here already.
And our banter works best when we're together.
You do you, witches. I've got to get going. Loads of other summonings to drop in on before you all get back. Don't forget, Scrooge. Learn from these spirits and save your immortal soul, or you will be doomed to walk this earth empty, sad, and forgotten.
Thanks, Kate.
Anytime. See you at Stave 5.
Bah! Humbug!
That's your cue, Agnes.
Okay. I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Is that a flashlight you're holding?
Well, I wasn't gonna show up in a stranger's bedroom with an open flame.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
We literally just explained all of this a few seconds ago. Yes, we're here to help you find compassion and empathy for your fellow humans, remember?
Do you speak of the poor and wretched?
Well, yes, but in this version, we're more specifically talking about the female humans.
But why me? Surely I do no more harm than any other.
Well, we were looking for a clever way to parallel topical subjects for today's audience, and Suds was feeling a bit theatrical.
And we noticed there aren't a lot of good female roles.
A balloon-wearing lipstick could play the women in your story.
I have had about enough of this. No decent, honest woman would dare to speak to an esteemed and respectable man such as myself in this manner, and at such an hour of the night. I shall call the police.
And say what? You're a woman now too, remember? So let's go for a little walk and you'll learn all about how hard it really is to be a decent woman.
Humbug! The fairest sex live an easy life, their needs provided for by the hard work and toil of their fathers and husbands.
Cold and slimy.
Just the vortex, please.
Yes, of course.
Follow me.
But, spirit, I am mortal.
We know, just come on. It's perfectly safe.
It'll tickle for a minute, and then you'll be fine. Just don't look down. Or up. Actually, better just close your eyes.
I was a boy here. Or at least, I think I was. Spirit, will I forever be a woman?
These are but shadows of what might have been. Listen and learn.
I received my education here.
Not this time.
But just look at little you over there. So cute. Sneak reading a science textbook.
Miss Scrooge, what are you doing in this classroom?
I am waiting for my brother Franklin, headmaster.
And what entitles you to touch these things that do not belong to you? Do you regularly go about reading anything you please? Science and arithmetic are not appropriate subjects for a young lady.
I'm sorry, headmaster. I was only curious.
You will return that book to where you found it at once.
Yes, headmaster.
Miss Scrooge, it is a well-known and scientifically proven fact that a girl who is too educated will be hindered in her ability to bear children as a woman.
But how?
You dare to question your betters, girl?
No,
A cheeky, silly little child presumes to ask questions of a respected, educated scholar such as myself.
Aren't you a teacher?
Miss, you are astoundingly impertinent. Where is your father? He must know of this disgraceful behavior.
He is at home.
Scandalous. Come, let us find your brother at once so that he may reprimand you properly.
This is not as I remember it, Spirit. I had a little sister, not a brother.
In this retelling, you are the little sister. Come on.
Why, this was my bedroom as a child. But how different it looks.
Come, EBBIE, it's time for your music lesson.
Again?
Must we argue about this every day?
Couldn't I just read for a few more minutes?
You know your father does not like it when you take books from his study.
But why?
It is just not proper for a young woman.
Why not? You're a woman and you're educated.
I am a governess, and it's my job to teach you.
Oh yes, music and dancing, sewing and etiquette.
I know it isn't challenging, EBBIE.
Or interesting.
I was just like you at your age. One day I hope things change. I hope it will be different for you. In the meantime, here.
What's this?
It's a book by Mary Shelley. Be sure to hide it well.
A woman writer?
It will be your secret lesson.
Oh, thank you!
Please don't give up, EBBIE. It is hard to be as we are, but you could do such great things if you want to. Come now. We mustn't be caught talking like this. Let's have our tea.
Such a woman!
Let's keep going. We've got a lot to do.
This is where I was first employed. It's the annual FEZZIWIG Christmas party.
Oh, I love this scene. Hey, do you think we can eat the snacks?
Only one way to find out.
And there's my old employer, Mr. FEZZIWIG.
Mr. Fezziwig! Mr. Fezziwig! A word?
Why, of course. Anything you desire, my dear wife.
I must know. Who is that young girl over there, all alone and without a chaperone?
Why, I believe that is the sister of my new clerk, young Franklin Scrooge.
But where is her mother? Her aunt? A cousin? Is there no one to guard her virtue and reputation?
Her family is quite a sad story, I'm afraid. There is no mother. She has no one but her father and her brother. Her father, I've heard, is a most tempestuous man.
But surely her father would provide a suitable chaperone, if for no other reason but to protect the honor of his family name.
Alas, mother, not every man finds a daughter to be worth investing in.
Well, I shall look after her for tonight, then. Thank you, husband. Yoo-hoo, Miss Scrooge.
Yes, Mrs. Fezziwig.
Come over here, my dear.
Oh, I was rather hoping to talk to some of the boys back from the university about...
Yes, of course. You've got marriage on the mind, haven't you, my dear? Why shouldn't you? Just look at all of these eligible husbands. But, my dear, you must demonstrate to them how reserved, beautiful, and meek a wife you will make. Here, stand among my own daughters, and I will act as your chaperone. My girl, tighten your collar for decency's sake. I can almost see your neck.
Thank you, Mrs. Fezziwig. But I have not come here to meet a gentleman. You see, I am promised to my brother's friend, William. Oh, here he comes now.
Good evening, Miss Scrooge.
Hello, William.
Might I have a word?
May we sit nearby? Mrs. Fezziwig has graciously designated herself my chaperone.
As you wish.
I was just speaking of our engagement.
Oh.
Yes, I had to, or I felt she would have engaged me to someone else right there and then.
As it would happen, that is just the thing I wish to speak to you about.
Oh?
EBBIE, This will not be easy for you to hear.
Go on.
Well, it is simply that I wish to release you from our agreement to marry.
What?
The simple fact is that I do not wish to marry you.
Did I do something wrong?
No! Well, not exactly.
But... William, surely you know what this will do to my reputation?
It is not only you who risks a damaged name.
My father will be furious at this humiliation.
I am truly sorry for his embarrassment. EBBIE, I know that your brother did his best in matchmaking for us both, but this cannot be helped. We are ill-suited for one another.
Will you not tell me why?
It is no secret that I have great ambitions, EBBIE. Ambitions I have shared with you in great detail.
Yes?
I seek to be the best in my business, to earn a great profit and live a lucrative, prosperous life.
And how is it that I do not fit in with this life?
In order for me to achieve such success, I've begun to realize that I will need a proper, gentle, and obedient wife who will manage my home and raise my children. And you are most strange and peculiar in your interests. Surely you must know. At first, I found it to be charming, thrilling even, but those were a young man's fantasies. I must consider my future, and the future of my family. My wife must be willing to support my dreams most devotedly.
But I will try, William.
I am sorry, EBBIE. You just are not the woman I want to be with.
William!
Miss Scrooge, are you all right?
Well, that was embarrassing. What a jerk.
Did he just leave her standing there crying in the middle of a Christmas party?
Now I'm glad I sneezed on his sugar plums. What? Nothing.
But surely there will be other suitors for her. Me?
A publicly broken engagement was a scandal for a woman.
Now that one I can turn into something cold and slimy, right?
Might be easier if you were real.
Oh, that's right. Oh, they're so lifelike. I forget.
Let's just get on to the present.
Hello? Spirits, are you there? It's too dark to see where I am. Surely it couldn't have all been a dream. But here I am, a woman still. Spirits, are you there? Speak to me.
For the last time, it's left at the 14th century, right at the Budokan Revolt, and then straight for 3 seconds until you pass the Dunkin' Donuts on 6th.
Well, at least we got EBBIE to the right time and place.
So sorry, we had a bit of a mix-up in the vortex.
I'm telling you, there's a shortcut.
We really need a map or something.
Never mind. Let's bring up the lights, shall we?
Wow, look at the turkeys and geese and game and poultry and brawn and meat and pigs and sausages and oysters and pies and puddings and fruit and punch and...
Dickens really loved listing things, didn't he?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Come in and know me better, woman.
Spirit, your robe is like none I've ever seen before.
You like? I have the best cape maker in the business. I'll leave you a card.
You're not like the spirit who visited before you.
Yes, well, we all have our things.
Conduct me where you will. I went forth earlier on compulsion, and I learned a lesson which is working now. If you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Come along.
The smells, the sights. These are not the dark, damp, dreary streets of London that I know. This is a scene from a fairy tale.
This is Christmas morning, just outside your door. These are the very same London streets where you edge your way along the crowded paths of life, warning all human sympathy to keep its distance.
Will you look at all this food?
You really should have eaten before we left.
Raisins and almonds, candied fruits and figs.
Sure beats the cold gruel you had for dinner last night, doesn't it?
I could stand here and smell the air all day.
No time for that, I'm afraid. We've got stops to make.
Now, no running in the house.
Spirit, who is that?
That's Emily Cratchit.
A relation of my clerk, Bob Cratchit?
Yes, she's his wife. And in this story, he's your husband's clerk.
I have a husband?
Hey, no spoilers.
But this woman and her children are all dressed in clothes that are worn and improperly fit.
I wonder why it could be that they aren't able to afford new clothes.
I had no idea.
Come along, children. Let's make the house ready for your father.
She runs a household and manages so many children with such a lively spirit.
Yes, well, women weren't allowed to be angsty or complain. If a woman upset her husband, he could divorce her and leave her with nothing.
There would be no honor in that.
You still haven't caught on to what we're doing here yet, have you?
Hello, Mother.
Martha, darling. Quick, grab the gravy before it burns.
Oh,
You're late.
we had so much work to finish.
To think of you out there apprenticing to a milliner. I never would have dreamed. One day you must make me the finest hat.
Of course I will, Mother. But I'm sorry to bring this up today. But they asked after my fees again.
And we will pay them.
But surely we cannot afford...
It is important that you have this opportunity, Martha.
I could take a job with Bess up at the manor. She says they're in need of a new housemaid.
We will find a way. Domestic work is no future for a woman, Martha.
I only have 2 more years until I can earn a wage, Mother. Then I will pay you and Father back many times over.
But that young girl must pay to work?
What is in your basket?
Oh, it's nothing. Just some sewing. I thought I'd get a little extra work done today for a bit more money.
Horrible work. That slop sewing. It hardly pays a thing.
Every little bit helps.
And I will sit and help you with that just after dinner. In the meantime, check on Peter with those potatoes.
Merry Christmas, my family. Martha, you made it.
How hard they all must work just to live. And their boy, the one over there, he uses a crutch.
Tiny Tim.
Tim, my boy, go with your brothers and sisters and wash up.
Tiny Tim is growing strong and hearty.
Oh, Bob, surely he should rest after such a day.
He told me, coming home, that he hoped the people saw him in the church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
How much Bob loves the poor boy. But why does Emily seem far less affected by these sad circumstances?
Because a man wrote the story?
Emily is the mother of 6 children, and she likely lost others in pregnancy and childbirth. Emily, like other women of her time, has accepted death as a part of giving life.
There were whisperings in our household that my own mother died after my birth. My father would never speak of it. My sister Fran, when she was my sister, she also died in childbirth.
Yes, and speaking of, let's pay a visit to your nephew Fred and see how he's doing in this world.
What is this magnificent place?
This is the estate your nephew Fred inherited when your brother passed and left him your family's wealth.
But what of me? Or what of Abbie, rather?
And she said that Christmas was a humbug, as I live.
Oh, more shame for your Aunt Ebbie, Fred.
She's a comical old girl, that's the truth. And not so pleasant as she might be. However, her offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against her.
I have no patience for her.
Oh, my dear Lily, I have. I am sorry for her being the wife of such a man as her husband. I couldn't be angry with her if I tried.
Who is this husband they speak of?
He takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come out and dine with us. What's the consequence? Only that she has to dine alone with him.
Why ever did she marry such a wretched, drunken, ridiculous excuse for a man?
My father often said that her prospects were ruined by a failed engagement. He tried to find her a suitable husband, but he was the only one who would have her before she became too old to bear children.
Oh, and the poor thing never had a child anyway. Oh, how I wish we could save her from him.
My aunt is too proud to leave her life, no matter how horrible it may be. A divorce would leave her penniless and alone.
Surely she could come and stay with us, Fred. Oh, she could look after the children.
I have asked her again and again to come and live with us, and maybe one day she will. Until then, I mean to give her the same chance every year, whether her husband likes it or not. For I pity her. Her husband may rail at Christmas till he dies, but she can't help thinking better of it. And I defy him if he finds me going there in good temper year after year and saying, "Uncle, how are you?" If it only puts him in the vein to leave his poor cook 50 pounds, that's something.
You are a good man, Freddie.
Come now. Let us prepare for our guests and raise a glass to our health.
It will be a most wonderful party.
He wastes my family's money on extravagances and follies.
Ooh, let us bring some of the finest wine from the cellar. It is Christmas after all.
Fred, darling, are we sure we've invited everyone?
Everyone we know, and even more we don't. Let us throw open the doors and welcome all.
Be careful, Freddie. All this generosity and people will begin to think we have strange ideas.
Nonsense. We do not want for anything. Let us share what we have. If nothing else, we shall leave no one feeling alone if they do not wish it.
He will be ruined if he spends his money this way.
Fred and Lily will save countless lives from starvation and cold, not to mention loneliness. In this world, they have the means to do great things, and they never once turn their backs on someone who needs a friend. Their generosity and kindness will ripple outwards for generations. You have these same means in your life as a man.
May we stay for a while longer, Spirit? To see the party, I mean? I've never been to such a thing.
My time is almost up.
And so, with a vague and uncertain horror, a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, came like a mist along the ground.
I thought the final ghost was silent.
We're doing audio theater.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come?
The spirit answered not, but pointed onward with its hand.
Lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me, I know.
Behind the dusky shroud, Ghostly eyes are intently fixed upon EBBIE.
Wait, Suds, is that one of my good capes?
The very air through which the spirit moved, it seemed to scatter gloom and mystery.
That's most definitely my black bathrobe.
I fear you more than any specter I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear your company and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me?
The spirit inclined its head. That was the only answer offered.
Where do you lead me? Where is this place? Who are they?
Such a sad story.
Tragic. And the same as many others, I'm afraid.
I heard she died 2 days before they found her.
She'd been sick for so long. Poor thing couldn't get out of bed.
A terrible thing to die alone.
Wasn't there anyone to take care of her?
A nurse. Until the money dried up.
No family?
That horrible husband kept them away. Told them she was contagious. Heartbreaking loneliness isn't something you can catch, though, is it? Preferred she'd die, if you ask me. Cleaner than divorce.
Who do they speak of, Spirit?
I heard they found him in a puddle of his own piss outside a pub.
Another grubby, drunken factory rat. Looking to better his station in life by marriage.
The likes of him should be in jail. Now he's free to marry again.
I wonder who'll be the lucky one.
A shame. She was a good woman.
Loneliness is a terrible cause of death. Preventable, and yet hardly ever is. Shall we go to lunch?
I beg you, Spirit, please. Do not let that be me they speak of.
EBBIE recoiled in terror, for the scene had changed, and now she almost touched a bed. A bare, uncurtained bed.
This is my bedchamber, though barely recognizable. Where are my curtains, my blankets, any comfort at all? This looks as if it's a prison. Please, please, tell me that this is not how and where I will meet my end.
A pale light, rising in the outer air, fell straight upon the bed.
Who is that? Who has died? Is it... No, I cannot look. I will not look. Spirit, how is there not a single person here to grieve the loss of his life? Fred and Lily? Bob Cratchit? No one? This is an empty room full of silence. Surely, someone must have cried. Just one tear shed. Can you not show me that? I beg you, please, Spirit, show me a life that made a difference to those it left behind.
The phantom spread its dark robe before him for a moment, like a wing, and withdrawing it, revealed a room by daylight, where a mother and her children were.
You know, that narration is actually pretty helpful with all the scene changes.
I told you.
We returned to the Cratchits, but... No, not.
But Mother, surely you must feel the loss more than anyone else.
I do, Martha.
Then why don't you cry? Surely your heart must be broken.
Right now, we must do our best to be there for your father.
But Tiny Tim was your child too.
When you're a mother, Martha, you'll understand. It is our burden as women to bear bravely. We must grieve to ourselves and hold together so as not to burden your father. Our very survival depends on him.
What if Father's so overcome that he cannot return to work?
He must. Otherwise, it will be the workhouse for us.
And so we must help him to keep going?
Yes.
If I could go to work for Father, I would.
Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down to one. Oh, cold, cold, rigid, dreadful death, Set up thine altar here, and dress it with such terrors as thou hast at thy command. For this is thy dominion.
How did you make it so cold?
Yes, that's a bit over the top, Suds.
Before I draw near to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be? Or are they shadows of things that may be only?
Still the ghost pointed downward to the grave by which it stood.
Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, to which, if they persevered in, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you show me.
The spirit was immovable as ever.
Whose grave is this? The one with the man's name? Here lies George Smith, who died January 6th, 1855, and his wife, EBBIE.
His wife?
You didn't even spring for your own headstone.
But wife? Surely there must be more. Where have I gone, spirit? My entire life cannot be summed up as one word, wife. What of that young girl, the one who wanted so much to learn? What of me? Here I do not exist except as the wife of a man. I have been erased, and only the word wife remains. Oh, spirit, why show me this if I am past all hope?
For the first time, the hand appeared to shake.
Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been but for this intercourse. I will honor both women and Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. I will respect the lives of women and all that they endure. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, please, tell me I may sponge away the writing on the stone.
Holding up his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed, he saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. Yes, and the bedpost was his own. The bed was his own, the room was his own. Best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own, to make amends in.
I am here! The shadows of the things that would have been may be dispelled. They will be, I know they will.
Welcome back, how'd it go?
Hello, Kate.
What's today, my fine fellow?
Okay, we're doing this. Why, it's Christmas Day!
It's Christmas Day! I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Ooh, do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, but the big one.
What? The one as big as me? It's hanging there now.
Oh, go and buy it. I'll send it to the CRATCHITs, and tomorrow I will go to the milliner's to pay all of Martha's apprentice fees. You there!
Me?
Good morning and a Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, wait, I almost forgot.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, yes. That is my name again, and I fear it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon. And will you have the goodness to bring this to the gentleman who visited me yesterday to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth? If you please, pledge to them the amount I've written down here.
Does he think we all work for him now?
Just go with it. We ran out of time to cast the extras.
Lord bless me, my dear Mr. Scrooge. Are you serious?
Not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me that favor?
Sure.
And now, I will to my nephews.
Hold on. I'll save us some time.
Take the shortcut.
Why, Uncle, this is a surprise.
It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. I've come to take you up on your invitation to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred?
Freddie, who is it?
I have been unforgivably rude to you both. If you can forgive a lonely old man who only thought of himself, I would wish nothing more than to be a family. Your family.
Surely, we have room for one more at the table, Fred.
Come in, Uncle. We are glad you're here.
But what a change has occurred.
I have learned much this Christmas Eve. I have seen through the eyes of those who, as a man, I deemed lesser than myself. I cannot begin to fully know what challenges may face a woman throughout her life. But from this day forward, I will be a friend to women and offer assistance when I can.
And Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world.
And that's how you make some good old allies.
We can't possibly do that for every single man.
No, that's why we use this most well-known holiday story.
I gotta admit, it was pretty creative.
What a nice holiday tradition.
Oh, let's do It's a Wonderful Life next time.
What about the miracle of Hanukkah?
Or the calling in of the light on the winter solstice.
There's also Three Kings Day, Kwanzaa, St. Lucia Day, Soya, Las Posadas.
Great! I'll start writing next year's scripts.
I can't believe this is how we unwind during the holidays.